Um, well, there you have it. Um, Arsenal nil, West Ham United 2. An absolute shambles, as far as I'm concerned. I've literally just walked in the door, taken my jacket up, and once my jacket's come off, I've come up here to talk because I need to rant a bit. Um, I did my fan cam on FTV, and I still feel like I didn't get everything out that I wanted to say due to emotion and trying to remain calm. But there's nothing more to say about that game other than underperforming players. That, let's be real, has been happening for a while now. It hasn't just been, oh my God, Arsenal are top and look at us flying. There's been question marks. There's been question marks. I'm fuming watching that game of football, I'll tell you this now. David Moyes, fair play to you. West Ham, fair play to you. You schooled Mikel Arteta and made him look, for me anyway, back to the basics of a cone man. Um, Nothing more to say about it than that. People were making comments about Mikel Arteta no longer hands out the oranges. He doesn't put out the cones. He's the real deal. Not today, he wasn't. He had absolutely no answers for a West Ham performance that put themselves into a low block by no shock of myself, my no shock of my own, conceded a goal and just allowed them to make it very, very easy. I don't think there's any West Ham players. In fact, I don't think there's any football player right now looking at Arsenal's performance and going, I ain't sleeping well tonight. Because that was easy. That was easy. Absolutely easy. Keep coming. Keep trying. Keep knocking on the door. Cross it if you want. No one's in there. Keep trying. Keep trying. Don't shoot. We really don't want you to shoot. Oh, they're not going to. Cool. If I had a pound coin for the amount of time someone kept shouting around me tonight, shoot, I'll be a very rich man, let me tell you people. Yeah? Do me a favor. Try to calm me down, try to cheer me up at least a little bit by smashing a like on this. Please make sure you subscribe. That's all I ask. I don't even want any of your super chats or donations or memberships tonight. I just want you to be here to interact with me and talk to me about that absolutely shambolic performance. But please hit a like and please subscribe because that's two things that don't cost you anything. So make sure you can get us as close as you can to 13K while I try and break down this absolutely shambolic performance from Arsenal. I turned up tonight nervous, and I don't know why. It wasn't because I was scared of West Ham or how I thought Arsenal had been playing of late. I just felt like something in the air weren't right. Um, Too many mince pies, too much turkey, too much cheese and wine, or probably a mix of all of it. Tonight, the performance individually was really bad. I can't pick many players that I thought played well. David Raya, people will mention because of the penalty save. Saliba and Gabriel, did they do much wrong? Then you're struggling. Then you're struggling. I'll tell you that now. But I have to look at the individual quality of some of the West Ham players, and they made it very difficult for us as a unit as well as individually. And David Moyes will be very proud of his players, and West Ham fans will be very, very happy. West Ham fans are happy because Rice had a poor game and they're singing you should have gone to a big club. Yeah, fair, fair banter, fair banter. Not that I really understand what West Ham know a big club is because they certainly ain't one. But at the same time, they can sit there and banter our boy because he wasn't very good tonight, and neither were the players around him. Um, Listen, I'm gonna talk about things very uncomfortably for some of the chat here, and some of you gooners that absolutely love to be positive all day long. It isn't always positive, and tonight proves why. Tonight proves to me why Arsenal haven't really got much better than last year, certainly aren't playing any better than last year, and I don't think we'll win the title and will probably look to come at least runner up, if not worse, if Liverpool continue to do what they're doing to Manchester City. Listen, let's start with a player who I've given up hope with in defending. And it actually is about his defending. because Zinchenko is an awful defender. In fact, he's actually a shit defender, right? I've said it. I'll say I actually think that's more of a kind way of saying it as well. Defensively, he's shit. Oh, he wasn't at fault for any of the goals tonight. I don't care, man. He's a poor defender. He's at fault for so much we're doing. Every single time we are conceding goals, I'm looking at that brother. I looked at it against Wolves. I've looked at it against Fulham. I've looked at it against Chelsea. I've looked at it against Tottenham. I've looked at it now against Liverpool and tonight against West Ham. Too many performances, bro. Too many. Whilst Kieran Tierney, you can defend, is out in Real Sociedad. Oh, he's injured. He's injured. That's all I hear. He's injured. We can't play him. He's injured. Timber's injured. It's not fair, Dan. It's not fair. Tomiyasu's injured. It's not fair. This guy cannot defend. He is an absolute shambles when it comes to defending. Going forward, he's brilliant. Wasn't tonight. Awful. Got substituted for Reece Nelson because he was that bad. That they actually thought, let's just try and change the formation because this guy can't defend anyway, not playing left back anyway. Let's go. We have to play him inverted. Nobody can play that role. Kieran Tierney was shocking inverted left back. How about just play a defender that can defend? Yeah. And then we don't have to worry about having to invert somebody all the time. It's really, really poor from Zinchenko. Gets himself subbed, giving the ball away, can't go forward, passing it all over the shop, positionally terrible, not good enough going forward when he was on the ball. Awful, awful night. Now let's talk about the bloke in front of him, shall we? Because this guy I've bigged up for a long time. More than 4 years now. This guy's been with us for a long time and I absolutely love him. But please, somebody tell me what Martinelli has done because it looks like a totally different player. I absolutely love him. I bigged him up. I said he's the best left winger we've got in the league. We've got him. He's our player. He's the guy that gives 110. I love the tenacity. I love the positive attitude. His passion, desire, and drive is there. Where's that guy gone? Where is it? Is it him? Is it the style? Because I look at the style of play, they're all struggling. Eddie Nketiah is our top scorer, people. Eddie Nketiah is our top scorer. And people say to me, oh, we don't need another striker. It's the midfield that we need. Okay, cool. Zinchenko, what are you doing, mate? Martinelli, what are you doing, mate? Saka. What's happening? Let's talk, shall we? What's happening? Anyone seen Bukayo Saka? Why are we protecting Bukayo Saka? Is it because he's star boys? Because he's your favourite player? Poor again tonight. Don't know what he's doing. Ben White. When's the last time he had a good game? Jesus. What's he doing? Have we all worked out he's not a number 9 yet? We might have to upgrade. Did Man City work that out and realise actually Aguero and Haaland, yeah, we need to get rid of this guy. He's now our number 9. I really like him. We actually need an upgrade on him, right? Can we all agree to that now? Can we all agree that we need an upgrade on Gabriel Jesus? Please, can we agree with that? We need an upgrade on Gabriel Jesus. Ivan Toney, Victor Osimhen, I don't care who it is, somebody has to come in. Because when we played Man City in the FA Cup 2020, we did the same thing. Allow them to cross the ball. Jesus ain't going to win it. Keep him out wide. Keep him out wide. Don't let him go through the middle. We won the FA Cup that way. West Ham did that against Arsenal today. Who's up front? Oh, the striker that they had at the time. Every single time this evening. Predictable. So predictable, man. Odegaard gets the ball. He'll go wide to Saka. Saka will come back to Ben White because there's nothing on going forward. Ben White will go, no, go forward. Gives it back to Saka. Saka might try to beat a man, realise there's nobody in the box to cross it to cut it back to Odegaard. Odegaard will realise the right-hand side's not happening, so he'll go back to Declan Rice. Declan Rice will shift the play over to Zinchenko. Zinchenko will go forward to Martinelli. Martinelli will realise there's nothing on, so we'll go back to Zinchenko. Zinchenko will pass it on to Trossard, another player who was poor tonight, and then he'll come back because there's nothing on and go to Zinchenko, who'll pass it out to Martinelli on the right, left-hand side. Everybody's just watching them play pretty football. This is nice passing. Keep it out of there, people. Ain't any threat to us. Then what will happen is Jesus will be standing there and he'll start doing some runs. He'll do some runs, do some runs. The ball will go back to Ødegaard. Ødegaard will say the left-hand side ain't working. We'll shift it over to the right-hand side. He'll shift it over to Saka. Saka will go back to White. White will go inside to Rice. Rice will go forward to Ødegaard. Ødegaard will go to Saka. Saka will go back to White. White will go back to Saliba. Saliba will pass it back to White. White will go back to Saliba. Saliba will realise the right-hand side ain't working. Let's go left. Saliba will go to Gabriel. Gabriel goes Zinchenko. Zinchenko goes Martinelli. Martinelli goes inside to Trossard. Trossard realises Jesus ain't available. We'll come back to Ødegaard. Ødegaard will go the left-hand side ain't working. And we repeat and do the same thing on the right. This was so predictable all game. All game. Nothing changed. I didn't see Arteta once try and change anything. And what's our answer? Get the subs on. Let's get the subs on. Who's the subs going to be? Eddie Nketiah, Reece Nelson, Emil Smith-Rowe. Let's talk about them three just for a minute. I'm not for 1 minute going to blame any of those three, and I'll tell you why. Two of them haven't kicked a ball for God knows how long. PSV, was it? Their last time they played and did anything. The other one is coming on like for like with Jesus. This ain't working. We'll bring on Olivier Giroud. No. We'll bring on Kai Havertz. No, suspended. We'll bring on Eddie Nketiah. Oh, another player who's very similar to Gabriel Jesus. Saka, Martinelli, Trossard. Who are we going to take off? Well, two of them, because all three of them have been poor. Let's bring off Trossard and Martinelli. Who are we bringing on then? Anyone that can give us something different? Smith-Rowe and Reece Nelson. Right. They've hardly kicked a ball. They're going to be rusty, and they're now going to try and win us a game at 2-0 down. But the squad depth is fixed. The bench is fixed from last year. The players we've got on the bench are completely different to the ones that were coming on last year. Funny that. Maybe they are wearing all masks or something then, because it looks like the same players are on the same bench. And we did not have a 9 out of 10 window. We are so desperate for a transfer window. So desperate for a good transfer window. I can't be dealing anymore with this, oh, Arsenal have a 9 out of 10 window because Declan Rice was a piece of the jigsaw puzzle. Declan Rice was a fantastic piece of the jigsaw puzzle. Do you know what, though? He was one of about 5 or 6 pieces needed. And we still have so many holes in our team. And tonight, I think for the first time, people are starting to realise we need Partey back. We need Tomiyasu and Timber back. And without them, we're struggling in those positions, particularly with Zinchenko. In midfield, Declan Rice, we like to see him pushed forward a bit with Partey in there. We still haven't seen Partey, Rice or Ødegaard. And who have we got to impact from the bench in the front line? Zilch. But we don't need another striker because Eddie's the guy and he's the squad player that comes on and he's our top scorer and we can win the league with Eddie Nketiah, and Reece Nelson scored a goal against Bournemouth once, and Smith-Rowe's going to be the next Jack Grealish. He's just injured for 2 years. We hear all the excuses. Let's just say it how it is. Our squad's nowhere near good enough to win the title. And everybody knows it, but they don't want to admit it. That's the problem. They don't want to accept it. They want to try and make out that these players would get into any of the other sides in the top 4, when really they wouldn't. Let's have it right. How many of the top 4? How many would Aston Villa, Newcastle, Liverpool, Man City right now say that they would be able to fit Reece Nelson into their first 11, Smith-Rowe into their first 11, Eddie Nketiah into their first 11? Would they want Jorginho Elneny in their first 11? They want Fabio Vieira in their first 11. If the answer is no, then we might need to upgrade on them, because when they need to come on, no one is scared. In 70 minutes, when you play Arsenal, Eddie Nketiah is coming on. Now, some teams will be rubbing their hands together. So, I don't know, man. There's a lot of problems. Lastly, what's going on with our set pieces? Is Nicholas Jova gone? Does he no longer exist at Arsenal anymore? Because we went through a whole season where we hardly conceded anything from set pieces and we scored from pretty much 1 every 2 or 3 games. Now, we're conceding from them a lot. And also, we can't score from them a lot. Why is Trossard still on the corners, by the way, when he can't beat the first man? Why? Why is it? Like, let's be real. If Trossard can't beat the front man, why is he still taking the corners? I will give him to Saka. Saka now can't beat the first man. We'll give him to Erdegaard tonight. He can't beat the first man. What are we trying to do? Who are we trying to aim it at? Why are we taking corners and aiming it at the first man's head? What's going on? Are you trying to try some Steve Bold flicking it onto Tony Adams shit? Because it ain't working. The penalty area, penalty spot needs to be where you're aiming your corners. Away from the goalkeeper, beating the first, second and third man. Penalty spot, and you get your Gabriel, Salivas and Rices on those crosses. We can't do it. We're nowhere near it. So I need to be looking at players like Saka, Martinelli, Erdegaard, Jesus. I need to ask them to raise their fucking game. And I need to ask Zinchenko to either go and have a seat or work on his defending. Because it was an absolute shambles. Leandro Trossard, big fan, baller. Uses both feet, quick feet, technically gifted, drives us forward. Can't do well when he starts. Why? Impact sub is he only? I don't get this. I don't get it. So I want to ask a serious question against Fulham. What do we do? Where are we at? Do we play our strongest 11 and bring on Nketiah, Smith Rowe and Nelson? Or do we drop a couple of them? Make an example. Accountability. Poor performances. You're on the bench, son. Zinchenko. Does he get dropped for Kivior? Does Jorginho come in midfield instead of Trossard when we play Rice, Jorginho and Erdegaard? Does Saka and Martinelli sit out this one and Nelson and Smith Rowe play? And we're bringing on the likes of Saka and Martinelli to actually impact the game and change it. Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe some of these players actually need to sit down on the bench and realise that their performances at the moment doesn't mean that you just go and walk straight into the team. And people can sit and say I'm overreacting if they want. I don't think we were overreacting here. How many of our front men have had an amazing season? I'll give you Saliba, Saka, and Rice, who's a new player. Other than that, who's had a season that they would be proud of in comparison to last season? Who's got better from last season? Tell me. Jesus? No. Saka? Nope. Martinelli? Nope. Trossard? Zinchenko? Hell no. Ben White? When was the last time he played well? No. So Saliba and Gabriel, my only two. I can't think of any other player right now other than Saliba and Gabriel that you look at this season and go, yeah, fair play. Last season you were class. This season you're class as well. And lastly, and this is the last thing, this fan base are a disgrace. And I'll tell you why this fan base are a disgrace. Because there are people complaining about VAR. It was over the line. It was over the line. Everyone's against Arsenal, Newcastle, and now West Ham. The ball was out of play. Now, take a look at yourself, man. We had 30 shots. They were all weak as piss. They rolled into the hands of Areola. They went wide, or they just missed the target completely over the bar. Take a look at the players on the pitch and the manager and how we were set up. Take a look at how their manager had no other answers other than to fling on 3 like-for-like subs. Take a look at the performances of Martinelli and Saka and Jesus tonight and tell me that they were decent and blame VAR. Take a look at our midfield tonight and talk about VAR. Then take a look at the performances of our fullbacks tonight and talk about VAR. I'm sick and tired, man, of hearing our fan base making complaints that every time we drop points, it's either the fucking referees or VAR are the reason that we're dropping points. It's a disgrace. Look at ourselves. Look at ourselves. We haven't been able to beat Fulham at home. We haven't been able to beat Spurs at home. We haven't been able to beat West Ham at home. We haven't been able to beat Chelsea away. We haven't been able to go. What's the other game that we've dropped points at? There's one I've missed as well. We are at Newcastle away, we've lost. Villa away, we've lost. Anfield, we haven't been able to come away from again with a lot. That's 7 games now that we have had this season in the first 19 where we've dropped points. They ain't title winning performances. The only reason that we've still got a chance even, right? The only reason we've only got a chance is because everybody else around us sucks. This is one of the poorest qualities of the league that I've seen in a long time, by the way. Manchester City, how the hell are we still near them? They should be gone, mate, with the team they've got. They should be gone. That's 7 games I've just called out that we haven't managed to win this season, right? And we're still ahead of them in the league. Liverpool are 2 points ahead of us. Unbelievable. Lack of quality, you know, that's why Villa and Newcastle's and all this are doing so well, because the teams around them, no one wants this title at the moment. No one's flying ahead. We come away disappointed, but we're sitting there going, crikey, we're still second, 2 points off Liverpool. This isn't a bad position to be at all. Halfway through a season, we're 2 points off top. What's going on here? But I walk away disappointed. But at the same time, I'm thinking, really? Is this the level of quality this year? What's happened to City? What's happening to Liverpool? This isn't the Man City and Liverpool of Pep and Klopp that I've known. The Arsenal can be 7 games without winning in 19 and still be 2 points off the top. Ahead of Man City, obviously, on goal difference, it will be if they win their game in hand, they'll be ahead of us. But let's be real. Somehow, just somehow. So I need to see a bounce back against Fulham. I need to see 3 points. None of this dropping points nonsense. None of this not taking our chances. None of this defending like clowns. None of this set piece nonsense. None of these corners that can't beat the first man. None of this shouting shoot every 5 minutes because no one will. I need to see the Arsenal that we all loved last season. And at the moment, oh, it's different. It's resolute. It's controlled. I'm loving it. It's 2-1s. It's 1-0s. Listen, you tell me that you prefer watching this Arsenal to last season's Arsenal, you're a liar. Now, if it wins me a trophy at the end, I'll take it because I grew up on George Graham 1-0, 2-1 football. But trust me, this is not entertaining to watch the way it was last season. In fact, I think we're worse than we were last season. I'll say it. Yeah? This ain't better than last season. No way. No way. So let's see what happens, man. We need a striker in January, and then its name has to be Ivan Toney. We need a midfielder in January, and I still feel we need a right-sided centre-back. Some people saying we link with full-backs, right wingers. Yeah, maybe we need that as well. But for me, when people are calling it a 9 out of 10 window in the summer, give your head a wobble. I'm out of here, people. Yes, I will be on the stream. Yes, Lawless will be cooking me. It's probably going to be Tuesday night, and it's not going to be fun. I'm out of here, people. Layers.